Are you planning on moving to Austin, Texas? Maybe you're thinking about moving here after you retire. Maybe you want to move here with your family, or you're planning on moving here so that you can grow your family. In this video, we're going to take a look at the pros and cons of moving to Austin, Texas, so you can really figure out if this is right for you. Hi, I'm Tiffany Moore. I'm a local realtor and broker right here in Austin, Texas. I help people from all over the world buy and sell homes here, and every week I put up videos showcasing what it's like to live here, what the cost of living is, all the development and the growth that's going on. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss any of that, be sure to subscribe. And if you're thinking about moving out here and it feels like the right fit, my contact info is below. Go ahead and reach out to me. I would love to help you figure out everything on this journey. Okay, here we go on the pros and cons of moving to Austin, Texas in 2022. And I just want to say that I do have some facts in here and some information that you can Google or you can see articles on, but a lot of this is just my perspective as someone that has moved here and has owned a house here for over 10 years. So you're not going to find this perspective or this information anywhere else. This is just from me. First, Austin is full of friendly people. Condé Nast listed Austin the 10th friendliest city in the US, but what does that even mean for a city to be friendly? A lot of the people that I work with moved here from New York or California or Seattle, somewhere like that, but before that they lived in the Midwest. And they are telling me that when they moved to Austin, they are really getting like a homey, feel good, really like friendly, hospitable vibe from folks in Austin. And it's something different than what they experience in the big cities or in California, places like that, where people might be a little bit more closed off. Maybe no one is actually looking to make friends. Maybe people are a little bit too busy, but that's not the vibe that they're getting in Austin. So a lot of folks that live in Austin moved here from somewhere else, and those people are looking to make friends. So what it means by Austin being a friendly city is that wherever you go, if you strike up a conversation with someone, they're probably going to talk back to you and ask you questions, and y'all can start like a friendship and hanging out with each other. Like a lot of folks who are moving to Austin are looking for that community, and they're looking to build their personal network and their professional network. We all know that Austin is booming right now. So chances are that if you meet someone while you are standing in line for a barbecue or to get a beer, or maybe you're at the theater and it's intermission and you're just kind of like lingering around the lobby. If you see someone that looks like, oh, hey, they love that band, I love that band. Or, oh my gosh, they're wearing the new Converses and my husband just bought those. Like, strike up a conversation with them. People here are really friendly and they would be happy to talk to you. And they're probably just trying to make friends and grow their community too. Number 2 pro is there is a ton of stuff to do outdoors here. Like Austin is a really big outdoorsy town. It's really easy to get FOMO when the weather is nice. So there is this perfect time in spring. This is pretty much our spring. It lasts like 4 to 6 weeks in between our winter and then just like blazing hot summer. And that 4 to 6 weeks, it's like everyone in the world who has ever thought about being outside when the weather is nice is outside. We've got water sports, everything from like kayaking, stand-up paddle, or to go out on the lake, you can go water skiing, wakeboarding, or just like cruise around in your boat and enjoy being on the water. If you're more of a land person, Austin has literally over 100 trails. There's over 100 trails in Austin. Now, some of them are small little neighborhood trails, but it's still somewhere that you can walk around outside and not have to walk on the sidewalk. Some of them are over 10 miles long. 2 of my favorite trails. One is the Town Lake Trail downtown. If you've driven around Austin, anywhere around the river, you have seen this trail. There's people walking, running, biking on it pretty much 24 hours a day. And it's right in the heart of downtown. It's on the south side and the north side of the river. So the total 10 miles is like the whole round trip of that trail. And I really like running this trail when I'm doing my marathon running because, like I said, it's in the heart of downtown, so I can split off down South Lamar and go for a couple miles down south and come back. I can go up Guadalupe and go up by the university and up into like more of Austin proper. There's just so many possibilities if you're looking to like really explore the city. Starting on the Town Lake Trail is a great place to start, and then you can kind of branch off from there and explore more of the city. Another trail that I love is up north. It's actually in Cedar Park. It's about 10 minutes from my house. And this is the Brushy Creek Trail. So Brushy Creek is a big park up in that area, and it's got a really long trail that I think is about 7 miles total. from one point to the other, but it goes through a bunch of really cool neighborhoods and a lot of like public parks, neighborhood parks, things like that. It's beautiful. There's trees everywhere. And there's just always people out there like running, walking, riding the bike. When the weather is really nice, there's families out there doing like outdoor pictures. You'll have springtime pictures and fall pictures. A lot of people do their wedding pictures and engagement pictures out there. It's really beautiful, and it's close to my house, so I'm only about 10 or 15 minutes south of that. And it's just a totally different vibe from being downtown. Also, there are parks on literally like every corner in Austin. Every neighborhood has a park. Some of them are smaller and they just have like a little playground or a swing set for kids. It's something. Other places have really big parks, trails, trees, all that good stuff. One of the most iconic parks in Austin is Zilker Park. It's right in the middle of downtown. It's humongous. If you've heard of the Austin City Limits Music Festival, this is where it is set. It just takes over all of Zilker Park. But when that's not happening and it's just wide open, there's people doing everything you could think of out there. So like throwing the frisbee, throwing the football. There's places for your dog to go like off leash and they can jump in the water and everything. There's places for you to just like have a picnic, take a nap, lay out a blanket and read. Like Zilker Park is kind of the heart of Austin, and it's so big and there's people out there all the time, especially when the weather is amazing. Like when the weather is nice, you have to get out to Zilker early because everyone else is coming out. It's going to be packed, but it's just a really fun energy and a fun vibe, and it's a really awesome place to hang out in Austin. So if hiking and biking and skiing and swimming are not your thing, the coolest thing to do outdoors in Austin is find a patio, sit down, and have a margarita. That is probably Austin's official pastime, is have a margarita on a patio. So again, like people in Austin are outdoors pretty much year round. I'm going to talk a little bit about how hot it gets. But even when it's hot, there's people out on a patio just enjoying it, being outside, cooling off, having a beverage. The most important thing to have is shade. Like I can tolerate anything as long as there is shade. But really, Austin is an outdoor town as long as it's not raining. Number 3, the food scene in Austin is incredible. So I just talked about how I easily get FOMO for the 4 to 6 week period when the weather's amazing. I also get FOMO anytime I'm trying to go out and eat in Austin. So it's really hard because you get like analysis paralysis and you try and figure out like, okay, what do I actually want? And then once I've narrowed that down, which of the 10 to 15 amazing restaurants should I pick from to go? So my husband and I usually have our rotating cast of like 5 or 6 restaurants. So it's like, okay, do you want pizza? Great, here we go. Do you want tacos? Great, we're going there. Otherwise, you could just sit and like scroll and read articles forever and ever about the coolest hot spot and the best place for pizza or the best new ramen spot. There's just so many options when it comes to eating really good food in Austin. So yes, we do have the restaurants where you can drop $500 on a nice dinner for 2, and that it's going to be amazing. Like the food's going to be amazing, the service is going to be great, and it has to be. If I'm going to spend that much money, it better be great. Or you could spend $30 and also have an amazing meal. Like there's so much craft and variability in Austin, and there's people who are just like niching down and specializing in this tiny little corner of the food scene that wherever you go, like you are going to find good food. Of course, there's crappy food here. There's a lot of places you're just like, oh wow, that was just a taco. I've had a million others that are like it. But there are places that you find are just like, wow, this place is not overhyped. It's incredible, well worth the money. Even if you're only paying like 12 or 15 bucks for it, like definitely coming back. So the food scene in Austin it's just awesome. And it's flourishing and growing more and more every day. A lot of businesses will start as food trucks and then move into a brick and mortar. Some start with their brick and mortar and then they put little food truck outposts out throughout the city. So the food trucks here are amazing. You have to find the right ones, kind of like restaurants. Not all restaurants are great, not all food trucks are great, but for the most part, like if someone is going to take the time to say like, I only do grilled cheese, like that's all I do. I poured my heart and soul into like just this food truck that's for grilled cheese. I'm gonna bet that grilled cheese is amazing. Like that's probably the best grilled cheese I've had in my life. And there are a handful of like only grilled cheese restaurants, only ramen restaurants, only fried chicken restaurants and food trucks and things like that. So the opportunity to have amazing food at all different price ranges in Austin is like out of this world. It's so exciting. Number 4 is the growth and the opportunity that exists in Austin right now. Austin is the #1 metro in the US for job creation right now. From 2016 to 2021, Austin jobs grew by 16%, and the national average was 1.8%. Not 18%, the national average was 1.8%, and Austin jobs grew by 16%. So a lot of these jobs are high-paying opportunities, and they want locals to build the skills to fill these positions. What a lot of folks get wrong is they assume, oh, I'm going to need a 4-year degree, or I'm going to need a master's degree, or some kind of like 10 years experience or something to get these jobs. And that's really not the case for a lot of these positions. A lot of them are in industries where you don't need a 4-year degree, but you do need some kind of short-term credential. Places like healthcare, transportation, information technology, manufacturing, things like that. These are places where there's a lot of growth going on and a 4-year degree is not needed, but you do need to have some kind of knowledge or some kind of credential certification to be competitive in these spaces. Over the next 5 years, another 12% increase in jobs is expected for the Austin area. That's huge. These are the things that people are moving to Austin for because of this growth and this opportunity. But really, a lot of folks are moving to Austin for tech. So Austin was ranked as the best place for tech jobs this year for the 3rd year in a row. So places like Google, Amazon, and Oracle, they're all increasing their staffing in Austin. And by the year 2027, Austin is expected to add another 22,000 tech jobs to the scene. So a lot of the folks that I work with are moving out here in the tech industry, and they're moving from California, from Seattle, from New York. And the main reason they say that they're looking at Austin is that growth and opportunity are happening in Austin. Like there is a buzz out there that Austin is growing and it's going to be the next big thing. And a lot of folks who are moving out here kind of like, this is the land of opportunity. This is like the wild, wild west. And we're going to talk a little bit about the housing market, but really folks are moving out here because there is growth and development happening very quickly. And there's just opportunity, not just for people in the tech industry, but all the other surrounding industries that are required to support all these other people that are moving here. So the growth is really exciting. It doesn't depend on what industry you're in. So the 5th pro about moving to Austin in 2022 is the housing market. And I know this is kind of going to get mixed reviews, but let me give you a little bit of perspective. This is 100% based on what's relative to you. So we just talked about how Austin is growing like crazy in all industries, but specifically in the tech market. And a lot of the folks that are moving out here are moving out from places that are current tech hubs like California, like New York and Seattle. Like I keep mentioning those places because that's honestly where most of my clients are coming from. They're moving out here from those locations because of the tech and the growth and the opportunity in Austin. So folks that are used to paying housing prices in those areas, buying a house in Austin is not really a big deal. Renting out here is not really a big deal. The prices are significantly lower than they would be if they were buying or from what they had owned in California, Seattle, and New York. So the housing market out here is like, I kind of think of it like the Wild Wild West. It's like this brand new land of opportunity. Everyone's coming out here. They're just like giving land away for free. That's what it feels like if you're used to paying like $2 million for an 1,100 square foot bungalow that needs to be totally renovated. Austin just hasn't gotten to that place yet. Will it eventually? Possibly, probably. That's kind of the direction that it's heading. But right now, we're talking about moving to Austin in 2022. Right now, it's a gold mine if you're coming from those areas. Now, if you're not coming from those areas that have had the major tech booms and that have crazy high costs of living, if you're just coming from Texas or you're coming from the Midwest or somewhere that isn't as expensive, the housing market is going to kind of hit you a little bit harder. So I was at a conference a few weeks ago and I was talking to a woman who owns like 3 or 4 coffee shops somewhere in Indiana. I don't remember where. And we were talking about the housing market. And we were kind of talking about prices and things like that. And she's like, oh yeah, for investment properties, are you thinking somewhere around 250? And I was like, oh no, even for investment properties, really it's going to be hard to find anything under like 350. If you want something that you don't have to completely redo, we're talking closer to 375, 400. And her jaw just like totally dropped. And I really told her like, even if you're looking for like a small starter home, and we're talking about the suburbs, like outside of the Austin area, it's going to be difficult to find something under 400. There are pockets that are more affordable, but those are really like the further away you get from Austin. But to folks who are kind of in the Midwest and aren't from those areas that have like crazy high cost of living, the Austin market is not cheap. Like it's not, oh, it's crazy affordable. It's a wild, wild west. So, and then on the flip side, when I talk to my folks who are moving out here from like California, New York, and they're like, oh, to them, it is a Wild West. It is like, we're just giving away land for free. So they're like, we want a 3,000 square foot house, 4 bedrooms, this and that. I'm like, cool. That's going to be around high 7s to low 8s. And they're just like, done deal. So cheap. Just take it out of my pocket right now. I'm like, okay. So it's just a difference of perspective and opinion on how affordable the Austin market is. But really, when we're talking about folks that are moving here from the other tech areas, it is extremely affordable. And it's not just the housing. Like, the housing in Austin is the most expensive thing about Austin. Everything else is at or below the national average. I'm talking like gas, healthcare, beer, milk, eggs, those things. It's so much cheaper than what you're paying if you're living in those other areas right now. The 6th pro about moving to Austin is that there are so many differences of opinion here. And this is something that I really value living in Austin. So Austin is a blue dot on a red map. We know that the rest of Texas is mostly conservative. Really, I want to say that with a little asterisk. The metro areas of Texas are not conservative. They are fairly liberal, just like the metro areas everywhere else in the country are fairly liberal. But Texas is massive, and there are a lot of rural areas and places that are not part of the metro that are more conservative, which is fine. Like, I don't personally want to live in an echo chamber. I want to be somewhere where there's diversity of thought, where there's other people that I can really talk to and challenge my ideas and gain different perspectives on where they're coming from, what their experiences have been, things like that. So one thing to keep in mind is like, yes, Austin itself is kind of thought of as like this hippie town and a more liberal town, but there are so many different people that live here and that are moving here that there's really just a big mix of everyone with different opinions and philosophies about everything. So number one, most folks who live in Austin are not really from here. We've got a lot of transplants. As you know, you probably don't live in Austin right now and you're thinking about moving here. So think about all the different perspectives and ideas that you bring as someone who like grew up in Tennessee or in Minnesota or in, Las Vegas, Nevada. The different perspectives that you bring, all those people are bringing their own to Austin. So there's not one way of thinking in Austin. Also, what's cool is that as you're out and about in the city, Austin's a really big like tourist destination. Lots of like parties here, and people are coming here just to like relax and have fun. So you're gonna pick up conversations from a lot of other people that don't live here, have never planned on living here, are just here to have a good time. So when I talk about like there's a lot of diversity in opinion and thought, it's because Austin is kind of this big like melting pot of people who are coming here from all over the city and all over the country and all over the world, that you're going to pick up on different lifestyles and perspectives, and you're going to hear stories that you wouldn't hear if you were staying in a spot that didn't have a lot of like movement in and out, where it's just kind of like the same people who've been living there forever, it's great if that's what you are looking for. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that Austin, there's a lot of people moving in and out of it. And so there's like different opinions and different experiences and things like that everywhere you go. And that's what I consider a big pro for Austin. That's one thing that I love about living here. So those are the pros that I consider about moving to Austin in 2022. Now we're going to talk about some of the cons. And you may have seen me talk about these in this video right here, where I talk about things that I hate about living in Austin. So here we go. First and foremost, one thing that I really don't like about living in Austin is the heat. Like, it's a really big deal. It can be stifling. This year, it started at 100 degrees on June 4th. And I remember specifically thinking like, it's June 4th and we're already at 100 degrees? Wow, it's gonna be a really hot summer. So it started on June 4th and it lasted until about the end of September, that we were having 98 to 105 degree weather here in Austin. Like, it's very difficult. This year it got really hard because it was like no one even wanted to be outside. Like every day that you went outside, it was just like stifling and hot and miserable. And yes, you can sit in the shade, and yes, you can have a cold water or margarita or something like that. But really, there's not a whole lot of other stuff that you can do. You just kind of grin and bear it, which is fine in the short term or fine for a few weeks. But this summer was it was very hot. It was kind of miserable. I hate to be a Debbie Downer about it, but that's kind of what my summer was like. So hopefully we won't have any more summers that are that extreme. I don't really know the way that things are going in the world. I'm talking about climate change specifically, if it's going to continue, but so it's a crazy summer. So that is like my major gripe about Austin, just that it's so hot here, which in the grand scheme of things is not really a big deal. It's pretty minor. Our winters are fairly mild here. So I'll totally trade off like a mild winter for a hot summer. Winters are usually going to be like lows in the 20s or 30s, but kind of around the 40s or 50s during the day. It does get rainy. It does get a little bit windy. We may get snow for 1 or 2 days, but overall, like it's really not bad at all. So I guess I'll take the hot summers. The second con is allergies. So even if you don't have allergies where you live right now, I'm 99% guaranteeing you that when you move to Austin, you are going to have some kind of allergy, or you're going to find an allergen in the air that just doesn't agree with you. Some people have a mild case of it. Some people are very extreme. So when my husband and I moved here 10 years ago, he had never had any allergy issues. And literally like the first week we moved here, all of a sudden he like can't breathe and his brain isn't working and he's breaking out in hives. And we go to the doctor and we find out like, oh, this is an allergy issue. So he takes like allergy medicines year round, which I can't. Like I refuse. I'm not going to take anything like that year round. Luckily, it doesn't hit me as hard as it hits him. But there are some people that are knocked out for like an entire season. So I'm going to put up a little chart right here. This is the year-round allergy calendar for Austin. And this is put up by the Austin Regional Clinic. So everything from ragweed to grass, there's mold spores year-round. And a lot of people get hit with cedar fever in December, which goes up into January. You can see from the chart, it like peaks around there. This is probably the biggest complaint that people have about allergies is cedar fever. So just so you know, like I never had allergies before I moved to Austin. A lot of people didn't, but then they move here and there's something in the air at any time of the year that's probably going to affect you. So just something to be aware of. We have like allergy specialists here that will help you come up with like a specific concoction of the medicine that you need to take. You can do some kind of like allergy therapy where you go in and get a shot every day. And now I hear that they have shots that you can like give yourself. You have to do this therapy like every day for a couple years, and then you're supposed to just not have bad allergies anymore. So there are things that you can do, but for the most part, like it usually hits you like immediately one day. And all of a sudden you feel like crap, like you feel sick and your body feels sick, and then your brain just stops functioning. It really is like your brain has no higher function. You can't really put sentences together. You can't do any kind of complex math or sentence structure or anything like that. It's very difficult to operate. And if it hits you hard, this can last for weeks or months. So it's a really big deal. If it does hit you, like go to your doctor right away. And figure out what you can do about it. Or like for me, I just know September, I'm just going to get knocked out by allergies. I just know I just have to suffer through September and the rest of the year is going to be fine. But the allergies, they are a big issue. It's something that you need to be aware of if you're thinking about moving to Austin. All right, the number 3 con about moving to Austin is like the cars and the traffic. So Austin is a very car-centric city. You need a car to get everywhere, even the grocery store, coffee shop, or somewhere to get a bite to eat. So I talked to a lot of folks who are moving down here from like Seattle or New York City. They're like, oh, it's really important to me to be in a walkable neighborhood. I have to be somewhere where I can like walk to my coffee shop and a bookstore or whatever. And, I'm a very positive person, but unfortunately those conversations, I have to kind of put the kibosh on that and say like, you need to be aware that Austin is not a walkable city. It's just not. If you live downtown, like in the condos, there are a few little like tiny like royal blue grocery outlets. There's some coffee shops you can probably walk to, and there may be a pizza place around there. But in general, like Austin is not a New York. You're not going to find everything that you need in like a 3-block radius. You are going to have to drive places. So the good news is that like H-E-B is our main grocery store out here. You've probably heard me mention it before. They are like 10 minutes away from everywhere you could possibly live. So, and driving, sorry, not walking. So everything is close, like it's relatively close, but you will need to drive there. We have sidewalks, but it's not a very like walker friendly city. Some areas of the city are bike friendly. You just kind of have to get used to it, and you may just have to, just be okay with the traffic. But for the most part, like there's not really walkable areas. You're definitely going to have to drive places. So that's something that you need to know if you're planning on moving here from a walkable city. And the second part of that is traffic. So the traffic is getting worse and worse here because like 1,000 people a day move to Texas, and almost 200 are moving to Austin every single day. And unfortunately, we can't build infrastructure that quickly, and no one can really agree on like what is the best way to design infrastructure to handle the traffic issues. So we are working on getting like light rails and things like that, and making our train station and system a little bit more robust. We're just not there yet. So there is a ton of traffic on the road. And, you know, I talked to people who are coming out here from California and Atlanta, and it's not nearly as bad as those places, but it is a struggle if you're going to drive during peak hours. So if you can kind of time your trip to not be around like peak rush hour hours, great. Then that's probably the thing that you need to do. I drive for my job nonstop. Like my office is pretty much my car, and I have a system for how to survive and not go crazy while I'm driving so much. One, leave early. So I leave 15 minutes earlier than I need to be at any appointment. And that way, if there are any issues, it's fine. I don't have to freak out about it. I hate stressing and I hate rushing. So by me leaving early, I get to eliminate that. Also, I specifically listen to like low stress music while I drive. So I listen to like a lo-fi hip hop channel on Spotify, or I'll just put in, honestly, like jazz. Like YouTube has got this really cool like November holiday jazz channel right now. That is what I'm listening to when I'm driving. I need something to like take the blood pressure down, take the excitement down, just give me a nice little like drive as I'm going to my appointment. And then also, you just cannot freak out about people who are going to cut you off or not let you in or go zooming past you or pull out in front of you. Like, it's going to happen. Don't get into road rage. Those other things should help you be less stressed already, so that when that does happen, it's just like, oh, no big deal. I'm still early. I'm still early to my appointment. You can go, buddy. Go on. Beat me to the next red light. Good for you. So yeah, it's very car centric. There is a lot of traffic. And with that traffic, unfortunately, there are a lot of fatalities on the road in Austin. So 2021 was the highest traffic fatality on record in Austin. We had at least 116 deaths that were vehicle related. And this trend has been increasing over the past 4 years. There's a chart right here where you can see what that looks like from like 2017 to 2021. So this is a problem. Like, you do need to be careful. You need to drive safely. You need to drive defensively. In Texas, we say like, drive friendly, Texans. You need to just drive friendly. It's something that you need to be aware of when you're moving here. I talk to folks that are moving out here from other cities, and they're like, I've never seen traffic this bad and so many accidents as I do in Austin and in Texas. And I've been driving in Texas for the past 15 years. So to me, this is just like how things are. But it may be a little bit different. It may be a little bit worse here than in some other places, so it's something that you need to keep in mind. The fourth con about living in Austin, according to me, is guns. And you may have heard me say this before in some other videos, but I'm gonna say it again. Like, this is one thing that I don't love about Texas and I don't love about Austin. I didn't grow up around guns, and I'm not comfortable around guns, so I don't really like seeing them people just wearing them in their holsters. Like, contrary to what people think about Texas, we are not all like Yosemite Sam's out here with our chaps and our cowboy hat and our 6-shooter, like most people don't have guns. When I do see a person with a gun, I kind of make an effort to stay away from them. Like, I walk on the other side of the street. I don't really talk around them. I don't have any idea what their mental state is. I don't know if they had a really bad day and something that I say is just going to make them pop. Like, I have no idea. So I'm not here to like debate guns. I am not going to change anyone's opinion. I'm not here to defend my own opinion. Just something that I don't like about Austin and Texas is the prevalence of guns. And I get a lot of comments on my videos that are like, this realtor lives in Texas, doesn't like guns. Ha 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 ha. Like, yeah, I know there's guns here. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Like, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, which is one of the things I mentioned before. Differences of opinion is one of the things that I love about Austin. So like, good, have your gun, that's fine. I don't have to like it. I'm going to probably stay away from you if I see a gun in public. All right, the fifth con about living in Austin is gentrification. So cities that have the hottest housing market and the most intensive job growth are usually also the most gentrified cities. And Austin is no exception to that. Austin is kind of the poster child for that. So Austin ranked 6th out of a 1 to 20, Austin ranked number 6 as far as the most gentrified city in the US. The only other Texas city on that list was Dallas, and it ranked last, like it ranked number 20. Now, this study was published in 2020, and it's the data spanned for 5 years from like 2012 to 2017. So already this data is a little bit old. I imagine at this point, Austin has kind of jumped a few spots as far as the most gentrified city in the US. We're probably not 6th. I bet we're probably 5th or 4th. This is something that I don't love about Austin. So it's really hard because, it's like, oh, don't you love growth and don't you love new businesses and new restaurants and new things like that? Yeah, I love that my city is getting all these things coming in, but I don't love that it's coming at the expense of people and businesses and communities that have been here forever, that have helped build Austin up and made it what it is now. Like all the things that keep Austin weird, all the cool, quirky things and specific individual things about this city, those are all going away because those people can't afford to live here anymore. And instead we've got like the next axe throwing facility and the next brewery and the next like Holiday Inn Express where our music venues used to be. That is the kind of gentrification that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like, oh, cool, I renovated my restaurant and now it's beautiful. Like, great, business owners doing it. Awesome. I don't love that people in our community are getting pushed out because they can't afford it anymore. Because those are the people that made Austin awesome and they make it what it is today. So whatever we can do to like keep them and still have the growth, like I realize those two things may not be congruent. But that is just one thing that I don't love about Austin. It's awesome to see the growth, and I'm happy that, Austin's getting cooler and better. But as long as we can keep the things that make Austin unique, that would be a win-win for everyone. So here's a bonus pro. This is one of the biggest things that I love about Austin is that Austin continues to surprise me. So whenever I think I know, all the cool restaurants or all the fun spots or the coolest venues and things like that, something comes out of nowhere. I'm like, I didn't even know that this was possible. So just a quick example, my husband and I, we had our wedding anniversary a few months ago and we did a little staycation downtown. And it's like, we're going to go to this restaurant. We're going to go over here. We're going to do all the cool things that we love about Austin. And then our last night there, he surprised me. He's like, hey, we're going out tonight. I'm getting us a lift and we're going to go do this thing we've been wanting to do for a while. I'm like, okay, where are we going? So we go up to this place that we end up going downstairs. It's like a basement bar. And we go down and I'm looking around and it looks like nothing has been touched in it since like 1992. There's still old like Guinness beer tacks up on the walls and the tables and chairs are from 92. And so are like the plastic glass water cups. And like, okay, what are we doing here? And he's like, I'm going to go get us some drinks. Why don't you get a seat towards the back? And so I walked to the back. I'm like, oh, this is actually the front because there's a little stage here. And it turns out we are at this jazz bar that has been in Austin forever. It's like an iconic jazz bar that I'd heard about once or twice, but we'd never been there. It was the coolest night that I've had in Austin. And it kind of gave me a little bit of a perk or a bump as far as like, okay, this is what local music can be in Austin too. We have the little venues, like the Mohawk is one of my favorite local venues in Austin, and all kinds of genres play there. But this place that we were at last night was something totally different. And it was a place that was mostly for locals, people who go there like on a regular basis. Like there's regulars there who are there every Sunday night. And that was one of the coolest things that I've seen in a long time because it wasn't the hippest new thing and it wasn't this famous old restaurant. It was just a basement bar that hasn't been touched since 1992. And it was really cool to see that those things are still there in Austin. So I talk about like, it bums me out about all the gentrification. Like if this place went away, that would be such a detriment to the community and to the people that live here and have been building this community and this place for so long. Like those places still exist and we have to find a way to preserve them. But what I love about Austin is that you can't pin it down. Like you can't put it in a box. Austin will just continue to surprise you as long as we keep those people and those places here so that allows those things to happen. So hope that gives you a really good perspective on the pros and cons of living in Austin. If you're thinking about moving out here and you feel like it might be fun, reach out to me. My contact info is below and I will see you on the next video.